Welcome back to Morning in America, a new reality that fire departments across the country are adapting to as more Americans switch to electric vehicles. Electric vehicle fires, while they're less common than gas-powered vehicle fires, they can be much more difficult to put out and require 10 times as much water to extinguish. Our West Coast correspondent Nancy Liu joins us live with this story. Nancy?
Good morning to you, Mitch. With more people switching to electric vehicles every day, we now have more high-voltage lithium-ion batteries on the move all over America. The higher odds of EV fires have some first responders truly concerned about adequate responses.
Oh, it is a Tesla.
This recent fire in a Sacramento junkyard happened 3 weeks after this Tesla was involved in a crash. Its high-voltage lithium-ion batteries kept reigniting. It took 4,500 gallons of water to cool things down and finally put out the flames. In a typical gas-powered vehicle fire, crews can often extinguish the flames with less than 1,000 gallons. But in EVs, high-voltage lithium-ion batteries are susceptible to something called thermal runaway, an uncontrollable self-heating state.
Once they reach this point, it takes copious volumes of water in order to cool and extinguish these types of fires. The challenge for common fire departments is that we simply do not carry that amount of water on our apparatus.
Lieutenant Tanner Morgan is with the Grand Prairie Fire Department near Dallas.
Right now, we're in the crux. We're at that critical point where consumer-driven world we live in is pushing these vehicles out, and the fire department is playing catch-up.
The National Transportation Safety Board issued a lengthy report 2 years ago about the safety risks to emergency responders from lithium-ion battery fires, highlighting a California incident that required 20,000 gallons of water to extinguish, and then thousands more when the car reignited while being towed. The agency has urged all EV manufacturers to educate first responders, since battery configurations vary between makes and models.
The vehicles on our roadways are changing in some fundamental ways. These changes are creating a different set of risks and hazards that the responders need to be aware of.
Now, notably, there are far fewer fiery crashes involving EVs than gas-powered cars, but when it does happen, thermal runaway is a major concern, and the typical fire tanker only carries about 1,000 gallons of water, and EVs are expected to account for more than half of all new car sales by 2030. Mitch?
Nancy Liu, thank you very much. And I covered an electric battery fire. It was at a storage facility, and it was a lot of electric batteries, but they basically had to flood the building where the batteries were for a week. And keep the batteries soaked in order just to make sure that there was no sparking. And then after that, the water that they use is like toxic. They have to monitor the water to make sure that it's not something that's going to run off into the community, hurt the soil, hurt the people in the area.
This is not something I think that most people thought about when they understood that the revolution of electric vehicles was a reality. So.
No, it is a problem. But who in America is actually driving these electric vehicles?
Nick is at the NewsNation Smart Board to show us, and whoever they are, they need to know about these vehicle fires.
They do indeed, because we know that, once again, as they continue to rise, so will the opportunity for an accident to happen. But get this, as we know the gas prices are on the rise, we also know that more people are buying electric vehicles. But guess what? The Midwest is not interested. When I tell you that the number of car sales that are electric vehicles tends to increase on the West Coast, I can tell you that San Francisco has the most. More than 20% of EVs registered in California are all in the Bay Area. The other parts of the country that are interested in electric vehicles tends to be those along the East Coast. But in the Midwest, Missouri, Louisiana, Oklahoma just aren't interested. It looks like that will be the hard sell. Adrienne, Mitch, I can tell you this. The other part of all of this is that Tesla is the largest maker of electric vehicles, but other vehicle makers are catching up and gaining ground. But I will say this also, as California goes, so goes the nation. They led in plastic, they led in cigarettes. It is possible that they will also lead in electric vehicles across the country.
Well, they are right now.
They are indeed.
Yes. All right. Thank you. Yeah, we were at Ford for the new all-electric F-150.
Which looked great.
Yeah,
didn't
the
it?
Ford headquarters in Dearborn.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.